Hi everyone, this is Akash and today I'll show you how to install Pihole on your Ugreen NAS. So first we go to hub.docker.com and search for Pihole and click on the official image. Why I do this is I want to show you that the compose file that we're using is actually the official compose file with very few changes. This is the compose file that you can use. You can actually just copy and paste it, but we need to make a few changes. I'll tell you what those changes are. If you're not interested to know this, then of course the file that you can copy and paste is there in the link, but I want to explain a bit. So what we're changing is we cannot change the 53 port because your DNS expects to be run on 53 port, so we'll leave it as it is. This 80 and 443, these two ports we need to change. Why we need to change these ports is if you see your Ugreen NAS, you see that portal setting, you see that port 80 and port 443 are actually taken by Ugreen. So port 80 is redirected to port 999 and 443 is redirected to port 9443. This makes it very easy because you don't have to remember these ports. You can just type your IP address of your Ugreen NAS and it automatically takes you to the port on which the admin is running. See, for example, if I just enter 253, it automatically takes me to 999 port because 80 port is redirected there. This is the reason we cannot use 80 and 443 port. We could use it if we just uncheck this, but then it will become a little difficult for you to remember these ports. So what we'll do is we'll change these two ports. So we'll change this port and we'll change this port. We don't need to uncomment these because we are not going to use it as DHCP server and NTP server. We just need to change our time zone. We need to keep the DNS listening mode to all so that it keeps on listening on all the interfaces for DNS queries. We'll keep it as it is. etc Pihole is the directory that will be created for you automatically and will have all the configuration. We don't need netadmin, we don't need systime because we are not using DHCP or NTP client. We only need sysnice. With sysnice, what happens is your Pihole processor, the process itself is going to adjust the priority, so it will give itself a little bit more of CPU time or a little bit less of CPU time depending on how much CPU processing power it needs and the restart policy. All right, so based on this, I have made this YAML file. This is going to be a Docker compose file. So there is one service Pihole. This is the image name, container name, restart policy, ports. As I said, I am using port 90 instead of port 80. I'm using port 8443 instead of port 443. Everything else is same. All right. So copy this. Go to your Docker. Click on project. Click on create. Give it a name. Paste this here and deploy. This is it. It's created. Okay. All right, now there is a problem here. Sometimes it might be there because, okay, so let me show you where the problem is. Log. Okay, you see port 53 is already in use. This is the log that you get. Listen TCP4 00053 bind address is already in use, which means that port 53 is already used by Ugreen. So in my case, this was the case. For you, it might not be occupied. So what you will need to do is you will need to disable port 53. For there, you will have to go to terminal for once. So go to terminal, click on SSH, enable it for 6 hours. Click on apply. Okay. Now open your terminal. We'll use Windows terminal and we will SSH into it. So we'll say SSH, your username at the IP address. So what I'm doing is I'm actually getting to the terminal of my Ugreen NAS. The password. All right. Now I need to disable the dnsmasq service. That's the one that is using port 53. Okay. So I'll run this command sudo. Sudo is basically when you do something as a super user, systemctl stop dnsmasq. This is going to stop the service. And I am also going to run disable. Synchronizing removed. All right. So now I have done two things. I have not only stopped the service, I have also disabled the service. So next time when you restart your NAS, that service will be disabled and will not run. Now your port 53 is actually free. Okay, so let's close this and go to Docker. And now let's try to restart your project. Pihole enable. Yep, this is running. Okay, so let's click on the regular one. Okay, here's access is denied, but this is the dashboard. So dashboard is here. Change this, login. This is it. This is your dashboard. Uh, Ideally, this is done at your router level, so you'll need to log into your router, and uh, within the router, you will have to give the IP address of your Ugreen NAS. In my case, this was 10.30.32.53. If you give this as your primary DNS, then all the DNS queries will come to Pihole, and Pihole will keep on blocking them, and you shouldn't see any advertisements after that. So this is it. If you have any questions or queries, please feel free to ask them in the comment box, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.